So, this Saturday, it's the big one. ANKALAEV PEREIRA 2, and here is my preview. Let's start with the champ. What does he need to do differently? In my opinion, not much at all whatsoever. I think that he should employ the same tactics as he did in the first fight. I thought he was fantastic. I thought his striking was great. He showed that he can clearly hurt Pereira or stun him as he did in the second round at the end of the second round. I think his leg kicks were also effective. There was bruising on Pereira's hamstring. I think it was his left leg, possibly. I can't remember. But I think ANKALAEV doesn't need to change much. If anything, and this will tie in with what I talk about regarding Pereira and what he should do differently, but I think he should shoot more. I think he should go for the takedown more. But I do have to commend Pereira's defense, which I'll come to in a moment. But I think he should shoot more, less from inside the clinch and more so just from, open stance and engaging. And I think he should definitely come forward, have the same approach, same mindset, because as we saw, Pereira had difficulties going backwards. But all in all, I really do fancy ANKALAEV's chances, especially if he comes forward, he throws, he keeps busy, he doesn't let Pereira be the dictator. Yeah. Alex Pereira, what does he need to do? Well, before I talk about what he needs to do differently, I'll talk about what I think he did really well. Firstly, takedown defense. He defended every single takedown attempt from ANKALAEV, and that speaks volumes. I thought that was fantastic. I think that he needs to ensure he stays just as alert, just as on the ball with regards to the ground game. So I think as long as he does that, I think he'll really be in with a good stead. Obviously, there's other adjustments he needs to make, which I'll come on to in just a second. But from a defensive standpoint and from keeping the fight on its feet, I thought that was great from him. And I think he deserves a lot of praise for that, because going into the first fight, that was one of the biggest questions. And I think he answered that pretty well. The other part of his game that I thought was really well and worked so effectively was his leg kicks. I think especially the calf kicks. As we saw very early on, ANKALAEV's calf was getting bruised, it was getting battered, we could see the redness in it, and there was times in the fight as well where ANKALAEV came back and almost changed stances mid-fight, because you could tell it was bothering him. So I think that is definitely a strategy he should continue with, because it worked so well. And this, coupled with what I'm going to say in a second, I think will be honestly, it'll skyrocket his chances, I think. If he is going to win this fight, it all hinges on if he comes forward. Everything I said just now will only work to its absolute maximum if he comes forward. Now, we've seen that he was heavily exposed and he could not fight that well going backwards whatsoever. ANKALAEV was picking him off, and the times he came forward, he looked dangerous. Yes, ANKALAEV's counter-punching I thought was actually quite good, but it's a different ballgame entirely if Pereira is the one who's the hunter. If he is stalking his prey, if he is coming forward, throwing, being active, he's just a far better fighter. Like, he looked so tentative and so tight in so many moments in the first fight when he was having to go backwards, and he almost looked so robotic as well because of his stance. He just was so stiff. And don't get me wrong, he has got power, but his power is not going to do anything for him if he doesn't actually be proactive in this fight. And I guess to conclude it all, what this will do is, if they both guys come forward because they both only have success coming forward, it's going to make it possibly a slugfest. And for ANKALAEV, that could be dangerous, but it also could open up the window for potential takedowns, which he could have success with in the second fight. For Pereira, a slugfest is also fairly favourable because he has got that knockout power. But to bring it all together, I am picking ANKALAEV to retain his light heavyweight championship, because I just think that there are facets of his game that may become a bigger factor in this fight, like the ground game, because Pereira's going to have to be more aggressive, and I think that's going to leave targets. But if Pereira blitzes ANKALAEV and comes out with full pace and all that sort of stuff, then I think he could be on something really well. But I'm picking ANKALAEV. Who are you picking?